Welcome back to 843 TV. We are now joined by Mr. Karl Ohlandt. And Karl, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So you're on the Spring Island, you're with the Spring Island Trust, and you're the landscape ecologist. So tell us about your position and what your duties here are at Spring Island.
Sure. I work on management of the land, both private community properties as well as the nature preserves on the island, and also serve as a resource for our architectural review board, which we call the Habitat Review Board,
Right.
and work with the Native Plant Project on the island.
So when you say landscape ecologist, does that mean that you know, any kind of landscape changes have to be approved and follow a certain guideline, or how does that work?
That's true, particularly through the review board.
Okay.
I work and consult with them when they get plans in. I look over to make sure the plans for the construction fit with the natural area of that particular
And that's great, because that
lot.
preserves what a great community it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's sort of being a good steward of this great environment and protecting that investment that people have made in this place.
Yeah.
So Karl, what's involved in managing a nature preserve?
Well, we fortunately actually have two 500-acre nature preserves on the island, so we try to promote diversity in those and manage them for that. So we might use prescribed burning in some of the forest areas. We do planting of trees and vegetation in fields. We do some bush hogging or mowing of areas, some timbering, and areas like the ponds and all on the island we will flood at certain times of the year and manage for fish and things like that.
Like the one right behind us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
You've done a great job.
Thanks.
Can you tell us how you work with residents to, I know, you know, native plants and the natural environment is really important, and people coming from other areas aren't really familiar with the low country and how it is. How do you work with them?
Well, it's a really important part of the island because actually the privately owned property on the island, the lots are make up a third of the whole island. So if we're managing the whole island and the habitats on the island, that's a very important part of it. So I work with the landscape contractors as well as the members in the community to manage their natural areas, their views, the property around the home, to plant native plants, but also to manage the areas that are on there to make it better for the wildlife and for habitat for people and for the wildlife.
Well, what exactly is the Native Plant Project?
Oh, great project actually. It started as a project whereby we could rescue plants from construction sites when the houses are going to be built. You know, unfortunately something has to make room,
Right.
so we would rescue those. And but it's evolved from that now. We've got a greenhouse and a nursery. We propagate plants from seed and divisions. We've got probably 70 volunteers. It's primarily run by volunteers, members of this community. And we've got over 100 species of plants we now grow and 3,000 to 4,000 plants in the nursery. And we grow and sell those and use them on the island here, but we also have sales for the public to come and buy.
That's a great idea. I always think about that, especially going down 278 with all this mass construction going on. I'm always like, can I take your ferns? I'm thinking that there's a million of them,
Yeah.
you know, with all the construction going on. And I always wondered, you know, is there, I guess you guys, obviously, yes, there is a program out there where you almost recycle and upcycle and
Absolutely.
and inform. So that
Absolutely. It again, it protects and recycles that plant material and maintains that important aspect of the wildlife here on the island. So.
And you know, as we talk about the native plant, why is that so important to you and into this community?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's important to all of us. Not only for the aesthetics of it, our native plants are beautiful plants, but I talk about kind of three main reasons that they're important. One is sense of place. If you think about it, the plants in a place really tell you where you are. I mean, when you think of the low country of South Carolina, you think of what? Palmettos, live oaks, Spanish moss, things like that. It's plants that tell you where you are.
Right.
So we want to protect that sense of place. Then also there's the aspect of maintenance. When you're maintaining your landscape, if the plants are already adapted to this place, this climate, the soils, the rainwater that we get, there's going to be less maintenance involved in maintaining those, and we're all for less maintenance when it comes to that. And the third reason is because of wildlife and things like Tony's little surprises he brought for us, but you know, down to the insects that are adapted to eating the specific native plants that are here, the birds that feed on those insects and those plants. If we replace them with plants that aren't here, then the wildlife that's adapted along with those plants won't have anything to eat.
Everything's connected.
Absolutely. So
and I asked Tony this, I asked you the same thing. This is such a magnificent place. What's your favorite part about working here?
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that it is such a beautiful place, but I love working here because of the environments, the diversity that's here, but because this is a place that attracts people who also love that. And I love working with those people that are as enthusiastic as I am about what's here and about protecting
And
it.
some of the residents, I'm sure, take advantage of your knowledge and you educate them and work with them. What are some ways that you interact with the residents?
Well, that native plant project is a big way. I mean, when you've got 70 or more people who volunteer their time to be involved in that, I think it's probably the largest volunteer group on the island.
I think that's something else that makes this island so unique. Every time we come up here, everybody is involved with something. Everybody has a hand in something keeping this place as beautiful as it is, and I just think that's a very, very neat
It is, it is.
asset.
They've, as they say, they've drank the Kool-Aid.
Yes, they have.
Well, thank you so much for being with us and sharing some information.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy.
And stay with us. We'll be back with more 843 TV.